People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal won, Brighton won, and yeah, man, I just want this season to be over. Good news is that it obviously concludes, at least in regards to the Premier League, next week against Burnley. Fingers crossed in the Europa League that we get through against Valencia, and we progress further than that and do what we need to do in the final, whether that's against Frankfurt or Chelsea. But in regards to today, people, I don't know where to start, man. You lot know I'm not one to rant and rave and them things there, and I'm not gonna do that. But I don't know where to start, man. I mean, it's nothing I haven't said in nothing you saw today hasn't. I can't. How do I even formulate the sentence at this point, people? Like anything I say today or right now in this vid could have been reflected in any previous vid I've done. I'm not gonna say anything new, people. I mean, flat from the start. You know what? I'll sound a bit like a hypocrite, but I'd say ultimately flat. I can't put my finger on it, but we clearly lack some. We know we lack a lot of things, but it's away from the manager or tactics or the players. There's just some sort of fight and grit and determination for themselves as players, let alone the club and the aspirations and stuff. We played today. A lot of them players played today like they're betting themselves all their eggs on Europa League, or that they've said to themselves in and amongst them, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but they've said that we're just going to rely on Europa League because there was no real bite and grit and determination. And I mean, if you cannot do it for your fans, your home fans, and I was clearly there, people, in the clock end, in your last game of the season, last home game, game of the season, just if nothing more for the season, like I said in before that in my preview, just a feel good factor, just winning at home, a convincing performance that the fans are owed based on how the last results have been going home and away, especially in the last month. Appalling. Brighton. Brighton took the mick, bro. Brighton, do you know the songs the fans were singing, man? And they're like Champions League, you're having a laugh, or your shit, and you know you are. It's rattling, people. But in regards to the game, we know big crisis that has been going in regards to the right back position, and that has kind of harmed us this season. There's obviously no Bellerin. Maitland Niles got sent off, so he's not eligible. So Lichtsteiner's come into the side, man. He's not been about in recent months, but he's come into the side. Koscielny, we know Koscielny's been playing a lot, so he's due a rest and them things there. He started Mkhitaryan and Ozil as well, and he went with quite an offensive lineup in that sense. That really took me by surprise. Thought Cole would probably start, but he's gone with Monreal, a bit more conservative. Maybe that's to deal with Lichtsteiner's lack of legs. Monreal's quicker to get back in his recovery position versus Cola, who might get caught up the field. But it's a weird game, people. Weird, man. Weird, car. We didn't really create nothing. I feel the first probably 10, 15, I feel we were really putting Brighton under pressure, getting in behind and things like that, getting in behind, playing some neat football. We was all in their own half. I was at the game, people, like I said, for large periods of the game. You saw people that were there. You saw it yourself. Soccer artists were staying up there playing right wing at times. We were all camped in their half. So Mustafi the same. I feel Mustafi gets a lot of heat, but he was alright today and played quite well. We're all in their half, man. I felt Brighton were nervous. Couple times we was getting in behind. Literally the first minute we had a good opportunity with Lacazette and Ozil. And a couple of times in the game, that counter-attack between the front two and Ozil was on, and we played some neat stuff. But I felt as the game went on and we were piling on the pressure, and you even saw a couple of times, is it Matthew Ryan in goal? He's panicking. We're catching their play. They're getting caught in possession. I feel when we're aggressive and stuff like that, we're doing stuff. You're looking at it is that we need to score a goal, people. As much as we're doing these sort of things, not even the fairy tale, the movie typically is Arsenal pile on pressure, you soak it up. As the game goes on, they grow in confidence and they hit us and have opportunities. I felt in the first half, credit to them, they were troubling Lichtsteiner. Solly March was providing an outlet. I did think Gooner would bring on Cola based on the first half, because Monreal did look a bit tired and showing his age a bit, and we were lacking width in that regards. We lack width. We have lacked width this season, and we had when we did this game. Obviously, a bit of fortune with the pen. I felt we deserved it based on. I was at the game. People have to watch it again. Maybe it was a soft penalty, maybe it wasn't, but it's a penalty. Aubameyang steps up, it's 1-0, and for me, we need to kind of build on the platform. Obviously, as Arsenal fans, you know, we need to outscore teams as insurance if anything happens, and I don't feel we built upon that lead enough. I feel, one thing you'll need to address in the summer is the movement beyond the man. Ironically, I made a video about this yesterday and I've edited it, so I'll release it sometime, probably tomorrow. I'll give it for you lot. But I feel whether it's the creative players like Ozil or the strikers in possession or even the centre halves, there's a lack of movement for the forward man in possession, and that helps the opposition stay in shape, and that was the case. I'd say last five we did have some opportunities. We saw Mustafi went close from a header. I'm sure Ozil had an effort. Lacazette had a couple chances. Obviously Aubameyang was trying to spider kick one effort. We was having opportunities, but I'll give credit to Brighton, man. They soaked up all of this. Ultimately, we're not capitalising on this lead and things. We're having a number of set pieces, and I feel we're actually quite wasteful in the set piece regards, in my humble opinion, people. I was looking at the game, I was thinking Torreira, Ozil, someone with a bit of delivery, a bit of variety delivery. Cause I don't feel Xhaka's was on point today. I feel Xhaka was quite poor, as was Torreira in my opinion. A lot of players were poor, but I feel the pivot wasn't good enough, especially Xhaka. We obviously the penalty, for me the mistrade passes, the penalty. I remember it. We'll get onto it, people, in the second half, but just because I was there, I will forget this point. It's just like, the guy sat next to me, we was looking at it, was like, Xhaka, no. Like, you could see the whole thing developing. Forgive me if I'm wrong, was it Mustafi or Monreal? One of them got back into position, and Xhaka's trying to back it, because it's too easy anyways. And you can just see him steaming in. And I didn't think it was a penalty. Maybe it is. I didn't think it was a penalty, but he's going to buy it, in it. Like, we could see the man steaming in it. But I'm spoiling the review. Obviously, ultimately, we failed in the first half to build upon our lead, and I didn't even feel in the first half that, for as much as we had possession, and I wouldn't say I was nervous that we'd lose this game. There was a couple nervous moments defensively. Pinball defending at times, failing to clear our clear our lines and have two banks of four. Just basic stuff, in my opinion, basic schoolboy defensive stuff. And when people were clearing it, they're not clearing it with any conviction, really. And Brighton had some opportunities that they possibly should have taken advantage of. There was far and beyond in the first half, but they should have. As it's 1-0, as they're soaking up the pressure, as the delay from scoring goals and the flat atmosphere in the stadium, to be fair with you, Brighton are going to go and grow in confidence. And if you're them, well, both teams going into half-time, Arsenal, we need to build upon this. Because, yeah, we scored, we've had good possession and we scored, but technically it was from a dead ball situation of sorts, in that it's a penalty. We haven't scored from open play. If people want to be fancy, we need to build upon it. If I'm Brighton or Chris Hughton specifically, they're gonna be safe, and there's a point for them to have it. There's a point in this, at least for them in this game, because Arsenal's all been in front bar the penalty. You'll take that. It's 1-0. You've defended well. You've not really created anything, but you've had some opportunities. Arsenal haven't created too tough from open play, for as much as I'm bigging up the counter-attacks and the half chances. You'll take that. It's 1-0. You have half a chance. And literally, from the first minute of the second half, I felt Brighton were at it. Brighton were having opportunities. They were getting in behind. They were on this thing. And we were being slow and acting. Obviously, I've went in depth already about Xhaka's error eventually in the second half. We were slow and we were made to pay for it. Eventually, Xhaka makes the error. Glenn Murray continues his decent goal-scoring stat against the top 10 or top 6. He has one of them stats, specifically against Arsenal. And it's 1-1 at this moment in time. And yeah, you can say after that, we piled on the pressure on Brighton. I felt, is it number 8? What's the Brighton man's name? The midfielder. I don't know his name, but he was working in the trenches. Beyond that, yeah, we piled on the pressure, but we ultimately didn't take our chances. We had many half chances, forced some good saves, but ultimately we didn't score. We even could have lost the game. There was one chance in the second half. The ball, I have to see it on Match of the Day, but some Brighton lad must be kicking himself. It's essentially an open goal and he messes up. I forgot to mention it, but on the topic of nervy moments in the first half, I did remember Leno. I don't know what he tried to do, but a couple of times the focus wasn't there from everybody collectively in the side. But we cleared the defensive. I can't remember how it happened, but I don't know how it happened, but there was an opportunity on his goal. We eventually dealt with it, and he just plays some blind 5-yard pass or attempts to do it into a semicircle. And if Brighton's a better side, no disrespect, they take advantage. Ultimately, we lost this game because we failed to build upon the fortunate circumstances we found ourselves going 1-0 up. We failed to really test their keeper beyond that as well, build upon it, score some goals. I felt we had some good counter-attacks, and I feel it's a weird game, people, because I feel players played poorly, but at the same time, it's not one I'm going to rant and rave and things like that. Pardon me for shaking the screen. I don't know if we're at that point as Arsenal fans now where it is what it is. I was at that point against Palace, but Yeah, man, it's like we played like a team that know they're betting on the Europa League. It was ultimately toothless. We didn't build upon the lead. And like Crystal Palace, like Leicester, like Wolves, they've shown if you have togetherness and defend well and work for yourselves and play for the shirt, you can walk away playing Arsenal home or away with something. I know many romantic football fans would have, or the most optimistic of football fans thought last day of the season Arsenal might sneak in the top four. But it's over. Spurs dropped points. I think United drew this week as well. And Arsenal dropped points. And collectively through all the teams, I don't know what they're doing. Chelsea, a team that people written off and said was doom and gloom, they won 3-0 against Watford and they're going to get top four. Spurs, I think they're going to beat Everton. Even if Everton do us a favour, I don't even know if it's possible. But all our eggs are firmly in the Europa League basket and the players have to do it. I do feel maybe the selection wasn't the best, not necessarily in terms of personnel. Probably speak about it in another vid, but I can't work out what we was trying to do with the midfielders. 1 minute it looked like we was playing like a 2-2-2 sort of thing. Then it looked like I wouldn't say a diamond, but you had a pivot. Then you had like Torreira or someone behind them. Then you had Ozil. I don't really know what was going on in that regards. We remember he was forced to play Lichtsteiner essentially, but he didn't have the best of games. He wasn't supported either. Monreal had a tough day as well, in my opinion. The pivot as well, again. Ultimately, just a lethargic kind of... I don't know, it's just like they're just playing like they want the season to end. Like, just playing, just not galvanised or anything. But like I said at the beginning, is this any different from any video I've made in the past, however many game weeks we've been losing recently? Or it feels like a loss. It's a 1-1 draw, essentially. But another opportunity missed if there was one. But on that note, there's nothing more to say, people, man. I'm going to go eat my Sunday dinner. People, deluded, I'm out.